Japan has 8.5 million ghost homes. You can buy one for only 3K. So are Japan's super cheap homes too good to be true? Now and again, a real estate opportunity comes around that seems too good to be true, like these dirt cheap homes for sale throughout Japan. Across the country, there are an estimated 8.5 million abandoned houses gathering dust known as Akiya. But in recent years, an intriguing initiative has been put in place to give these vacant properties a new lease of life. For house hunters looking for an affordable renovation project, it could be the opportunity of a lifetime, but don't forget to read the fine print carefully because they may come with a catch. So let's check this out. So, dwindling rural populations. Deemed ghost homes, more than 13% of Japan's housing stock stood empty in 2018, many in sparsely populated rural regions. It's a figure that some experts say could increase to 30% by 2033 if measures aren't put in place to address the problem. This languishing rural state is in part due to Japan's aging population. 20% of citizens are aged 70 or older. As the country's numbers dramatically decline, a slew of vacant homes is left behind, with which some relatives are hesitant to inherit because of Japan's second home tax. What's more, younger generations are upping sticks to major cities in pursuit of more favorable economic prospects. The result is millions of unclaimed homes falling to ruin across Japan. So, an ingenious solution. In an effort to stem the rural exodus and revitalize the country's dwindling regions, many of Japan's prefectures have launched Akiya Banks, databases of abandoned homes for sale across their districts. And at this time, there are reportedly 685 participating local governments, each eager to draw new life back into their communities with the enticement of super cheap property. Many of the prefectures will give buyers a financial helping hand with repairs too. IKEA banks are open to any qualified buyer who meets a specific prefecture's requirements, and Japanese residency is not essential, and the opportunities are open to buyers who live outside of the country. So, the conditions and prices of properties can vary drastically. This rural farmhouse in Fukushima Prefecture on Honshu, Japan's most populous island, is currently on the market for just $500,000, I think Japanese yen, the equivalent of $3,700. Built around 120 years ago, the historic wooden building is flanked by mountains and idyllic Tadami River. However, it's in need of significant work if the listing images are anything to go by. Dislodged exterior woodwork means it would likely require structural attention as well as cosmetic works. The residence does come with farmland, and as such, a meager sum, it could still offer an ambitious buyer an attractive investment opportunity. Real estate steal. Listed for an even smaller price tag at just the yen 400,000 or $3,000, this residence in the town of Numata on Hokkaido, the northernmost of Japan's islands, is another real estate steal from the region's Akiya Bank. The detached property is modest in scale, encompassing a kitchen, bathroom, and two traditional decorated living rooms across two floors. In total, the plot measures 3,552 square feet, so there's plenty of scope for further development on the acreage. Like, here's the thing, from what it seems like all these homes are in like very, very rural areas. Which, this is the thing. You have to be in a specific position personally to be able to do these sorts of things. One, you got to probably be able to make a living or have some sort of income that does not require you to have to go and travel to that job, right? Because this is probably in like very like remote areas. It doesn't make sense for you to be driving hours to go to work or something, right? So you either have to be able to work at home somehow or basically have money coming in every month no matter what, or just be basically financially retired, period, where you have just so much money that you could do it. Because like I just don't know how you're gonna be able to, like, they're abandoned for a reason, right? That many people are leaving to basically try to get a better financial position. So what's the catch? Inside, it's clear that the property hasn't been occupied for some time, as well as an interior overhaul. The residence's electric and water systems may need attention too, and different regions have different stipulations for buyers looking to purchase an IKEA. Some governments require renovations to take place within a restricted time frame. For example, in Nagano Prefecture, new residents move in within 2 years of making an application, so any necessary renovations to make the home habitable must have been carried out by this point. The renovation costs. Some prefectures offer tax breaks and subsidies to help buyers cover renovation costs. In the Nagano Prefecture, up to two-thirds of the repair work will be subsidized up to the sum of 3,700, while in rural areas the upper limit is 1 million or 7.5 thousand. However, it is worth noting that according to the Yamamoto Property Advisory, the cost of renovating an IKEA can be as much as 224,000, depending on the condition and the size of the property. So while that tiny price tag may look like an unbelievably good deal at face value, buyers should anticipate a much higher final bill. Yeah, see, that's a little bit sad. Yeah, see, this is the thing. Like, if homes and like apartments or whatever are being sold for super cheap, there's typically a reason why, right? So I mean, you even have stuff in like the United States, Fixer Upper, super cheap, Ohio, super cheap one. But again, like it gets to the point where like how bad is a property in terms of its structure and bones and all that to where it could actually make financial sense to buy it and pay for the renovation. It's just something to think about. Like, part of me thinks that in the grand scheme of things, it's probably not going to be worth it because it relies so heavily on basically how you're making your money. Let's see. You just can't live there permanently unless you were born there and are of 100% Japanese descent. That's the rule. Do we know the rough estimate of the ghost homes in the USA? Can you afford property tax? LL, they show pictures of a nice house. My son is in Japan, and no, you can't get a house like was pictured for $3,000. That's like showing a nice house in Michigan that was taken in the suburbs, but talk about how you can get a ghost house, abandoned house, in downtown Detroit for $3,000. Hey, good point. Yeah, so I think it's probably too good to be true, but I do like the concept of maybe finding something in a good area that is super cheap that hopefully wouldn't cost you an arm and a leg to fix up and be able to live there. But yeah, I don't think it's going to be worth it.